Welcome to another edition of Eye on the Issues. Today we are talking to the mayor of Sheridan, Wyoming, Richard Bridger. Thank you for taking time to talk to us. Let's begin by finding out, how long have you been mayor there?
I've been mayor here in Sheridan now. I'm going on my second year or my third year. So I've got two complete ones. And before that, I was on the council for 4 years. And then before that, I was on school board for 12 years.
So let's talk about what you like most about being mayor.
I just kind of like doing the work. In general, I think it's good work, and it does well, and it helps my fellow citizens. And so it's not a glory job, that's for sure. You just do it because you think it's the right thing to do.
And let's talk about when you say do well and help your citizens out. Give me an idea of what you do to make that happen.
Well, just that day-to-day stuff. You make sure the trash cans are being emptied. You make sure your roads are getting fixed. You make sure you got a police force up to snuff, a fire department up to snuff. Just those general operations that people sort of take for granted, and they expect, and they should expect it. They should expect their pipes to work, their plumbing to work, their sewer to work. And so just focus on the basics of the day-to-day operations of the city.
And what do you like least? I mean, you've been in your job for 2 years now, but what do you like least about your job?
Oh, there's always those issues where it strikes a match under some people, and they come with pitchforks and they think you're an evil person. And so, yeah, those aren't pleasant.
What kind of issue? Could you give me an example of one of those types of issues?
Oh, that was easy. Fluoride in the water. So we had a lot of people that were adamantly opposed to fluoride in the water, and they would show up with their toothpaste boxes and their bag of goodies that they wanted to display, tell us the evilness of fluoride. And so eventually I sent it out as on the water bill, a questionnaire. Do you want fluoride in your water or not? And so it came back that by a small majority, it was a no. So we took the fluoride out of the water.
Wow. Well, that's responding to what people want. That's what people want leaders to do. Let's talk about the biggest financial challenges facing your community. What would you say the top two are?
Well, the biggest financial, maybe not for the city per se, but workforce housing is a real issue for us. We have some very nice high-end homes, but that affordable housing for the average person that's working downtown or working in a manufacturing job, some of that proves to be difficult sometimes for those folks. And so that's one of our big issues. And of course, one of our big issues in schools right now, and we just passed bolstered up a law to fix that, is vaping. So vaping has become the big thing in schools these days, and so they're really having an issue with that.
So are they cracking down on vaping in schools, or is it allowed?
They're cracking down on it. What was the problem was they would crack down, but the ordinance was like a $25 fine if you got caught, with no consequence really. And so they didn't see where that was having any effect, and they came and asked us if we could maybe bolster up that ordinance a little bit. And so to help them out, that's what we did.
And so what's the fine now?
It's a progressive fine. It starts out at like $100 and then goes up from there, and it can include community service if it keeps up, that sort of thing.
I know a number of communities around Wyoming have been impacted by the vaping that you're talking about, THC, marijuana, kratom.
Right.
Have you also seen those others?
We have. I mean, unfortunately, even downtown now, I have a cannabis shop that sells all those products. And so we didn't respond fast enough to deal with that. I'm hoping, I've heard through the grapevine that the legislature's in the process of trying to come up with that bit of regulatory law to help deal with that. But no, it's a serious problem because they seem to invent a new form of marijuana every week.
And so do you hear much at all from parents and families about, I'm going through a tough time with the kind of stuff around my kids? Is there any help you can give me?
No, I think most of that, obviously, the police hears some of that stuff. And then, of course, the school district hears a lot of that stuff. They're closer to it than I am. I'm kind of more, like I said, the day-to-day city operations, those sort of things.
And in respect to law enforcement, you probably hear a little bit about what goes on, or they haven't responded to the cases involving THC and other things that are not legal, and marijuana, which of
Yeah,
course is not legal
the
statewide yet.
tests are a little different, and but they see it and they see it out in the community. Our school resource officers, especially see a lot of that stuff, and so it's prevalent. I mean, it's there. I'm not going to say prevalent, but it's there.
It's there, right? Let's talk about the challenges that are facing Sheridan from a big picture standpoint. Obviously, the economy's kind of been difficult late. You've had inflation, energy issues, and certain things going on there. What of the issues that are impacting other parts of the country are also impacting Sheridan?
I think they're all the same things. We've seen inflation, we've seen groceries go up, we've seen gas grow up, fuel bills have went up. Um, Especially people on fixed incomes, because their income doesn't change, and so now they're trying to absorb that. Property taxes, the legislature was supposed to fix that this year to help alleviate some of that. And although they made a partial move in that direction, they really didn't address it as well as they might have. And so, especially for the elderly, again, if they're paying those higher property taxes, but they're on the same fixed income they've always been, and now they've got increases in grocery prices, increases in fuel prices, it gets tough to make it all meet at the end.
No doubt about it. So, from a city standpoint, are there any issues that you are working on that the people of the community would like to see progress and things you're moving forward on?
Well, this is really dry and boring, but we recently just started on our Main Street project where we're reconstructing Main Street and we're doing all the plumbing and underneath the ground while we're doing that. And so that's going to be a 2-year process. So it's been needed for quite a while. We're finally going to get that done. Um, and again, I'm just go back to my other things that I've always said. Housing is a big issue for us right at the moment, and so we're trying to deal with that. We've created an actual 501c3 for affordable housing, and so we've got them in motion. The city ponied up 1.5 million of the American Recovery Plan Act, and the county ponied up 1.5 million of their money, so we could form this housing land trust. And so they have $3 million to kick it off with. So hopefully we'll see some good things out of that, and there'll be a good genesis there where it'll sustain itself and become an asset for the community.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Is there anything you would like to mention about your community that I have not asked you about?
Oh no, not in general. I feel very blessed to live here. I love my community. It's a great town, great people. Every town has a few problems, which we do as well. But I think if you're going to live in a community, you can't find a better one than Sheridan.
Great to hear. Mayor, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.